Hello, welcome back. This is Seewing Yi, and today I'm going to go over an update on the Florida housing market. I'm going to talk about uh, the recap, the 2022 Florida information. I'm going to go over like five different markets from a very high level, and then I'm going to go over the Florida Realtor Association website to project based on my data and trends and information on the 2023 projection for Florida housing markets. All right, so at the end of this video, if you see value, please smash the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And finally, please subscribe to my email newsletter on my website below link. And I would also like to welcome your comments. Tell me who you are, where you're from, where are you located, what some of your questions, and I will do my best to answer your comments accordingly. All right, so I'm going to use without further ado, let me share my screen, and I'm going to use the Redfin website, which I use quite often, to go over my analysis and what have you. So I'm going to go over one, two, three, four, five specific markets in Florida. I'm going to start off with for the lack because I have a lack of time. I can only go through several metrics on each market, and the first market I'm going to go over is Miami, Florida, and I'm going to go over the medium sales price. In fact, let me go over just just reiterate and congratulate for those of you that have purchased in the past few years in this Miami market. Starting 2019, the median sales price according to Redfin is 313. It's a 6% gain. Then from 2018 to 2019, from 2019 to 2020, that's another 15% year over year annual appreciation gain. And then from 2020 to 2021, during the pandemic, a whopping 19% appreciation gain. And then finally, even at the total end of this year, almost the year end, December 25th, 2022, there's still a 6% price gain. So the new median price is 459. From a 313 to 459, we're talking about what? A 4-year total annual appreciation on the average around 46%. All right, so that tells me that although there's a slight reduction of prices from the peak in the middle of this year, in light of the skyrocketing of the interest rate from 3.5% earlier this year, 2022, to the peak of 7.3% in October, now back down to mid six. And even with all the volatility around the interest rate, the price have only decreased slightly around, less than 10% from high of 490 to 459, which is, like 7 to 8% reduction in sales price, which is not as steep as in other markets in the US. So Miami is holding up very, very well, giving the average of a whopping 46% appreciation in the past 4 years. And moving forward, we all know the Miami is the Wall Street of the South, and we have many international buyers, many baby boomers, retirees, and millennials are moving to Miami because Miami is very, very expensive prices, $1 million condos everywhere in Miami Beach. So it's a very, it's a trophy market for many upscale buyers from all over the US and from the Northeast, New York City, and the West Coast and the Midwest. Everybody is the playground of the rich and famous, Miami, Florida. So it's doing very well. So that's the first market. And the second market I'm going to go over per Redfin. And the second market I'm going to talk about, let me get my reading glass. Cape Coral, which is one of my favorite markets for the past 20 years, as we have many investors have purchased into Cape Coral, Southwest Florida, for over the years. And so let's go over the median price. Let's go with the 4 years of amazing historical capital appreciation for those people that purchased back in 2018, 2019, or before, or even people that purchased within the past a year to 2 years have achieved very significant price appreciation in Cape Coral. And for that, I congratulate you. Many of our investors purchased cash flow properties recently and have done very, very well with the skyrocketing of rents. The median price back in 2019 is only 240K. Imagine if you would pull the trigger back then, could have, should have, would have, whatever. So 240 is a median price of a home in Cape Coral, fast growing Cape Coral back in 2019. And then there's a 2% appreciation gain from 2018 and 2019. Then another whopping 18% appreciation from 2019 to 2020. And then from 2020 to 21, 27% appreciation year over year. And then even with the correction that's going on nationwide with the higher interest rate, you are still homeowners in Cape Coral are still getting a 9% appreciation year over year from December 2021 to December 2022. So yeah, there's a slight decrease from the peak, as in many other markets in the country. At the peak back in June of 2022, 421K, now is back down to 390. So around 7 to 8% reduction of prices. Given that is not all that severe as compared to the other markets in the U.S. So again, the higher interest rate has caught everybody by surprise. That makes the demand lower. So that's understandable, but it's still maintaining itself very well, Cape Coral. So let me calculate the annual appreciation for the past 4 years. 2% plus 18%, that's 20, plus 27, that's 47, plus 9, that's 50, 56% 4-year capital appreciation, which is historical. Obviously, I don't need to say this. So, moving forward, Cape Coral will continue to do well. Now, the other metric I want to supply, I can't spend too much time because I have 3 other markets I want to show you. The monthly supply, 5.5% is a normal, healthy market in terms of inventory. Right now, per December 25th, the weekly supply is 15.8, which divided by 4 weeks. So we have a little bit less than 4 months supply of inventory in the Cape Coral Southwest Florida market. So we're still a little bit of a seller's market, not a buyer's market yet. So based on these metrics, as I conclude the Cape Coral market, the future is still very bright. Migration, job growth, and population growth still continue to occur, and many people are migrating into Southwest Florida for the high quality of life, and you can still cash flow properties, believe it or not, as we speak. So Cape Coral is a healthy market. There will be a slight, just a slight downturn in prices, nothing dramatic. So moving forward, long term is very, very good for home buyers and investors alike. All right, so that's the recap for that, for Cape Coral Southwest Florida market. And the next major market I want to talk about is Orlando, which part of the Central Florida region, which has been growing amazingly over many, many years. And let me go over Orlando here. Orlando covers quite a large radius, and but I'm going to use Orlando as the main hub, even though there are many sub-markets in Orlando has done very, very well. But the weeks of supply for Orlando year over year is 13.3 weeks of supply divided by 4 weeks per month. So a little bit about 3.5 months of supply of inventory. Again, that is a very, very low supply of homes. So the demand, although has subsided, still the demand is a lot higher than supply. So still a seller's market. A seller's market around 5 to 6 months of supply of inventory in the Orlando, Central Florida market is only around 3.5 months of supply. So things are trending very upward. And for those people that purchase in Central Florida, Orlando market, many of our investors have done so far and will continue to buy cash flow properties, turnkey properties in Central Florida. You guys have done very well. So this is still a very good market to buy investment properties. So from 2018 to 2019, the Orlando price point, the median price was only $267K. Wouldn't you wish to buy more than one property? Many of our rental property investors, they wish they have bought more. But anyway, that's the way it is. The window of opportunity is always shrinking no matter what time frame. So 267K median price back in 2019, 7% appreciation, then 7%, and from 2019 to 2020, another 9%, the 16% appreciation, then 23% appreciation from 2020 to 2021. So we're talking, what, hold on, 7 plus 9, which is 16, plus 23, which is 39, plus 7, 46%. Even with the skyrocketing of the interest rate in the past 9 months, the home prices, it was very, very steady. We'll only see a very, very slight decrease in home prices between the middle of this year towards the end. So, the Central Florida, Orlando market has weathered the storm greatly. At the median price started out at 267. Now at the December 2022 is all the way up to 384. We're talking 46% annual appreciation gain in the past 4 years. So signs of a very healthy market, again, due to the population growth, job growth, migration patterns, and we expect to continue to happen. Central Florida have a lot of long-term growth for primary home buyers and real estate investors, especially real estate investors. You go into the suburbs, the sub-market, the suburb of Central Florida, there are so many more opportunities, which I have no time to talk about it. So, so things are doing well. So the next market I'm going to go over is on the other side of Central Florida, which is Tampa, Florida. Many of you also realize that Tampa, Florida has grew tremendously over the past few years. There's a lot of news media talk about it quite often. Very fast growth, high rental increases, and the whole 9 yards. So Tampa, Florida. So let me go over Tampa, Florida. The median price, again, there are very little drop of prices, even with the market correction going on with the higher interest rate as we speak. It does not affect buyers in Tampa or Florida for that matter, because more than a quarter of all the home buyers in Florida these past years were all cash buyers, right? So they are, the mortgage rate does not affect these people because of the desirability of Florida living for many homeowners and investors and out of the country buyers. We continue to see many people with deep pockets that will put a lot of down payment to buy a primary home, and all cash buyers from foreign countries as well. And the Wall Street hedge funds and institutions are also plunging into the Florida housing market because of the returns and what have you. So as you can see, the median price in Tampa, Florida, back 4 years ago, 2019 year over year, is only $240,000, and now the median price from 240 all the way went up to all the way to $374,000. This is mind-boggling. At the end of this year, December 2022, so the annual gain year over year, 7% from 2019, 2018 to 2019, 7% plus 13, which is 20%. plus another 24% gain from 20 to 2020 to 2021. So 44%, 44% plus 11%, 55% total appreciation in the past 4 years. As you can see, even with the higher interest rate, even with the challenging correction housing market, year over year from 2021 to 2022, we still have an 11% price gain. So, so that's a very, very healthy market. People that bought primary homes and investment homes have done very well over the past, not only over the past few years, but over the past 5-10 years for those people that have the wherewithal to buy and hold long term. Months of supply in the Tampa market right now, which is a very critical metric as well, 13.2 weeks of supply of inventory divided by 4 weeks per month. So a little bit around around 3.4 months supply of inventory. There's still the demand is greater than the supply. Economics 101, needless to say. So still a seller's market. And even when the interest rate goes up and it comes down, hopefully, many experts are predicting the interest rate will go down, mortgage rate will go down, and if that's the case, Florida housing market will do very well in 2023 and beyond. So Tampa market, in conclusion, have done very well. We've seen a very, very small price reductions relative to other areas of the U.S. And because of a high demand and lack of supply of homes moving forward, and the price are very steady, increasing double digits over the past 4 years. So again, congratulate those people that purchased in a Tampa, Florida area. And the next, the final market I'm going to go over is all the way to the northeast corner of Florida, which is Jacksonville, Florida. Has been under many people's radar in the past few years. Jacksonville, Florida, also have done very well. So let's go over the big picture of Jacksonville, and let's discuss what's going on. Kind of similar at the peak, at the middle of this year, as the interest rate has skyrocketed. The peak price was to be 82. However, if you go back from 2018 to 2019, the median price was only 246,000. From 2018 to 2019, the price appreciated 6%, plus 13, 19%, plus 16, 35%, plus 10%, 45% over the past 4 years, from 2018 to 2022, 46% total price appreciation in those 4 years. This is insane numbers. And the dip in terms of from 382 in the middle of this year to 354, around 7 to 8% reduction of prices, which is to be expected, given the fourth quarter of each year. There's always the seasonality aspect of a housing transaction. Always is like this. But overall, it's a very, very healthy market. And let me see what else. The last thing I want to talk about is the months of supply, which is at 60%, which is a 4 month supply inventory. Still pretty much still a seller's market. Yeah, it's a very healthy market, and the projection is Jacksonville can do very, very well, very consistently over time. All right, so let me see what else I need to go over. Let's go over the state of Florida. This is a website from Florida Florida Realtors Association, the website for Florida. I'm just going to go over very, very briefly the year to date in Florida in general. The annual appreciation for the entire state of Florida, dated November 2021 to November 2022, that is a double-digit appreciation from November for year over year. of a whopping 17%. So now the next thing I'm going to highlight is for investors out there, you want to buy cash flow property with a rent. We can get cash flow with 25% down payment. You want to look for the medium price or the lowest as possible, so we can give you cash flow. Miami is out of. So let me share with you the two location. The median price is so high that I would not recommend mom and pop investors buying cash flow properties because you will not cash flow. And those two markets, if I can find it right here, yeah, right here, Naples. Look at Naples, which is 1 hour south of Cape Coral, Southwest Florida. The median price of home is almost 782,000. We're talking $750,000 in Naples. Is the playground of the wealthy. They may not be famous. It's a playground of the wealthy. Imagine like 4 years ago, the median price in Naples was only around 400,000. So in the past 4 years, Naples have gained over 100% appreciation over the past 4 years, approximately. But the past year is 22%. So I would not recommend investors to buy Naples because the number does not make sense. But I do recommend risk investors at 25% down payment, you can cash flow because the rent is very high. And those markets, or such as Cape Coral, for example, someone will rent from you if you, as an investor, you buy the monthly rent around $2,500 to $2,800. That's right. You buy this price right here, $430K in Cape Coral. You will cash flow slightly at 25% down payment and 6.5% mortgage rate, 30-year fixed rate mortgage. And Cape Coral have appreciated this past year 21%. So that's the area that we have investors that buy. And the area that we also been targeting for many, many years are, of course, Miami. Don't do it. It's very, very expensive. The rent is not going to cover your debt service. So forget about the mom and pop investors. Forget about that place. Northport, yes, Northport, Sarasota, the right above Cape Coral. Yeah, the price is getting steep, but if you can find homes of 400K or less, the rent is still pretty high. The north of Cape Coral in the Northport, Port Charlotte, Sarasota area, you may have a break-even cash flow with 25% down payment. Ocala, something that we recommend quite a bit, north of Orlando. I'm about to close escrow on a home there in Ocala, Florida, with a very, very cheap price. But as you can see, appreciation has grown dramatically. And of course, Orlando is getting more expensive. It's kind of hard to cash flow. We should have bought a few years ago, but now it's getting harder to cash flow. As also double-digit appreciation year over year. And then Palm Bay is a very, very good area, still pretty reasonable, have grown 18% appreciation. But you can buy a property for $300,000 in Palm Bay and get a rent for $2,200, and you will cash flow at 25% down payment, couple $100 cash flow, very, very good, very, very nice. And then let me see what else. Seewing, up and coming in a Central Florida area, and right now is growing very fast. It's a very low price, which is very, very good. It's a suburban growth, has grown by 22% appreciation. The median price in Seewing, which is about 1 hour south of Orlando, is very, very low price. That's the path of growth. A lot of opportunities in that area. And of course, Tampa is getting more expensive, very, very hard cash flow for the rental property investors out there. But you have to buy into the suburbs, like 40 minutes into the suburbs of these major metros. That's where the future opportunity is occurring. So that's pretty much for that. I think I don't want to do I want to share anything else with you guys? Let's go with the inventory level. Yes, I'm gonna conclude this video. Look at this. Like during the peak of 2021, look at the supply of inventory in Florida, 1.2%. That's why we have seen multiple offers, bidding wars in Florida back in 2021, 1.2%, which is a historical low supply inventory. But now back to more reasonable right now, still 2.8%. as of November, which is the latest data from Florida Realtors website, still at only 2.8% supply of inventory for the state of Florida, still very, very low. It's a very low inventory, still a seller's market, believe it or not. So well, the demand is going to go higher, even so, especially when if the interest rate, here's my recap, if the interest rate in 2023 comes back down to like 5.5% to 6%, the demand going to get better. People who's been staying in the sideline, they want to buy a home, they need a place to live. People will accept a higher mortgage interest rate moving forward. You're not going to see mortgage rate back down to 3.5% or lower ever again. That's a historical one in a lifetime, once in a generation opportunity. You're not going to see those rates again. So you have to reset your expectation. But I see a lot of positivity is going to happen. So Florida, compared to the other markets in other part of the country, has done very well. The correction are not impacting all the Florida too much at all. So the future is very bright. Supply inventory is very low because of the population growth, job growth. So if you're a primary home buyer, you can afford it. If you got a good budget and everything else, there's no reason why you should not pull the trigger. For investors, you have to pick the right area, find yourself a good turnkey provider that will help you buy in those emerging markets, the sub-markets in the suburbs, or those major metros, which I already went over this to you. Sorry, this video has taken longer than I expected. There's so much to cover. So very exciting future for Florida, personally, my number one market. And many of our investors have purchased over the years, and they will continue to do so. But you have to find a good team that can help you, that have professional property managers, turnkey approach. Those are the best investment methodologies. So with that said, thank you for listening. And if you see a lot of value in this video, please smash the like button and also subscribe to my YouTube channel and make comments below. What do you think? What are your situation? Where are you comment about what do you like about or dislike about my presentation, and then I'll be more than happy to respond to your comments and answer your questions. All right, thank you so much, and also subscribe to my real estate investment community email newsletter, the Yield Real Estate Network, so you will receive weekly free real estate investing turnkey cash flow markets opportunities, so you can become a potential risk investors to buy properties in those good markets. Thank you so much. I will see you on the next video. This is Seewing. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.